It's Week 9 of the National Football League, and we've got the Bengals' veteran quarterback. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Bengals and the Barons coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Brooklyn Barons. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Brooklyn ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Got a man open, it's Tyler Higbee. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Burrow looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. It's Frazier. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The numbers for Mixon last week, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They're led out by a former #2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, and Zach Wilson.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
They'll start on the ground. Hall, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run with Hall. Gets around him. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd down.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 42. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Wilson. Short throw to Dissly. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. He's got daylight. 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Give to Hall running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. And he'll find Hall. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Nixon will try the right side, and he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the 1st quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
It connects quickly to Jamar Chase. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide, and the ball is knocked out, and this is picked up by the defense. There he goes right side, and he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
First play of the drive going for 14 and the first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. On 3rd down, Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. Now Burrow. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, short throw to Disley. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble and hit 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 49-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
A loss of 1. It's now 3rd down.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Burrow. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Play action. It's Burrow. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Logan Wilson from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wilson. He gets it underneath to Hall, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And some room to work. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say, because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it, and they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Boyd.
Burrow's pass, complete to Tyler Boyd. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From just shy of midfield, Burrow, he finds his man, complete. It's Frazier. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
It's a gain of 6.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Again, it's Burrow. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Carl Lawson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
That's what they have to do more defensively, not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now it's Burrow. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series because drives like that, that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Throwing is Wilson. And a check down, complete to Hall. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 41-yard punt, giving 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. But the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Here's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down now, but that clock rolling. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. Caught right side, Davis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And good hustle here, as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they will begin in field goal range already as they search for a potential score. After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. The kick by Carlson is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head off and check out a second game, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Terry McLaurin, a good game there. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you, and they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Darnell Mooney, a touchdown reception. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for our home team, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Straight ahead is Hall. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game. And there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick slant caught by Chase. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Throwing again on second down. Burrow toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Mixon with a first down carry. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Burrow will throw. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now it's Burrow. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Boyd. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now Burrow on 1st down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McPherson on for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That one a first down pickup of 8. They go play action now. Wilson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now Wilson on first down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now 3rd and 2. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
So now they come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now it's Burrow. Got a man, it's Higbee, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is Mixon on the draw. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And that's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads. And he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
An old school.
And oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and
give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is fielded at the 27. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in.
Pass interference.
And the contact may have come too early. So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Burrow looking to pass. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mixing up the middle. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Complete to Joe Mixon. It's a gain of 4. Brings up second and 4 at the 12-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow been his main guy all day. Chase has another one. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. His pass caught at the 4. From the 2 now, second and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go. It's no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Here's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kick is good.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback,
it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wilson. This one caught by Davis. 7 yards there and a first down.
A 7-yard gain. And a Brooklyn.
Now Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Wilson.
At the 47-yard line.
Dancing to his left.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that'll change things a bit. 15 yards added on. Going to put him on the other side of midfield.
And add on shaking the head defensively because he got caught where his hand wasn't supposed to be, and that cost him 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
It's a gain of 7.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start. Offense.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Burrow. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
Wilson's pass complete to Garrett Wilson. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, he finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number It's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. That ball has it knocked loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Burrow. And his pass incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now Hall to start. And he loses the football a 2nd time. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Paul want to give up the middle. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On first down, right back to Hall. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now it's Wilson. And check down complete to Hall. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to look deep for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out, and the Bengals will get the football back. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Cincinnati, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.